Flat dog. True flat dog. Vibe. Yeah, Cody.
Well, g'day folks, it's Ando from Boss Outdoor Marimbula, and I'm here to bring you this week's fishing report. Apparently the salmon have been hot, so let's talk about those straight up. Well, how about those salmon? All the way from Bourne all the way down to Eden, you can catch these beautiful hard fighting fish off the beach. Now that's what I love, being able to take your family down to the beach and hook into some hard fighting fish. So let's talk about Kai and his family. He was fishing up in Bourne and got a beautiful 63 centimetre fish. What a ripping salmon that is. If you come back down towards Dolphin Cove, Tura, North Tura area, they're on the chew there too. There's a couple of great gutters around the Dolphin Cove area, and it's been producing well first thing in the morning and after dark with a few excellent sized tailor thrown into the mix. If you're looking for tailor, I'd suggest use a gang pilchard or pilchard on a gang hook. Fire that out into the channel, into the gutters, in where the wash is coming over from a sandbar, and you shouldn't have to wait too long to tangle with a few tailor. Moving down to the main beach here at Marimbula, there have been a few salmon schools pumping up and down around Ford Oval, which is basically main beach here at Marimbula, but the best action's been down towards Pambula. Out the front of the campground, a lot of customers have been coming in saying the fishing is sensational, they can't even keep bait on the hook, it's hand over fist with salmon. And I know down in the Twofold Bay area, they've been there too, mainly around the wharves, but they've been tricky to catch, so I'd be thinking hit the beaches. For those that don't like the sand between their toes and prefer to fish off the stones, you're in luck. That ocean has dropped down a fair bit and it's only looking better heading into the weekend. And our staff member Jamari's been getting some beautiful black drummer off the rocks. If you haven't fished for these fish before, it's a tricky one to do because you've got to keep an eye on the ocean. I suggest wear a PFD, but the main aim to the game of catching these fish is burley. So if you can find yourself a safe platform to stand on, get yourself a little washy area, put some bread burley in there, cast an unweighted prawn bait or some conjervoy. Again, if you don't know how to collect conjervoy, come into the store, we'll show you how to get it. It's a fun activity and it's dynamite bait and it's available right there at your feet for free. But we'd rather sell you some prawns, so come in and see us anyway. But a small size sinker, get it in the wash, hook these fish up, they fight amazing, they taste even better. Get onto that action with this swell subsiding this weekend. So moving into the estuary, I hear the top lake's still producing. This guy behind me, Kurt's been fishing this morning, so let's go and have a chat with him and see what's biting. So Kurt, what are you doing, mate?
Just having a flick.
Yeah. I heard you went out in one of the tinnies this morning up the top lake.
Yeah, me and Azzy punched out there pretty early on sunrise.
Yeah.
Head over near Sunny's, about maybe 100 metres out from the jetty there.
Yep.
Kind of near the oyster leases. Got a couple of tailor, and then I got a pretty nice little flounder on this vibe here.
How'd you get that flounder on a vibe?
So I was just dropping down to the bottom, just giving a burp on the way back up, and then.
How do you do that?
Yeah, burp.
That's how it goes. Brr, brr. So these metal blades, they're an amazing little contraption. You can get right in there and have a look at that. It's just a piece of metal, and all you do is cast it out and let it hit the bottom and lift it like a soft plastic, and it vibrates. And I've been banging on about these metal vibes for ages now.
You got me onto it.
Yeah, well, and you caught fish.
Yeah.
There you go. So you can put a little bit of scent on these vibes, but if you cast them out, let them hit the bottom, vibrate them up, lift them like a soft plastic, the vibration calls in the fish. And the good thing is, you can leave these laying on the mud or on the silt bed for a little bit and then lift up again and the fish will pounce on them. And that's exactly what you did today.
Yeah.
You want to give us a look at that flounder?
Yeah, come over a squiz.
All right.
Happy days.
What a fantastic fish, Kurt. I hear they're really tasty. How are you going to cook it?
These are delicious fish. So I'm just going to cook it whole in the pan with some garlic butter, finish it with some fresh herbs and just pick it off the bone. Happy days.
Get another one.
I know, right? What else can I get out there?
Well, there's a heap of fish up there. Trevally, bream. I'll talk to you a bit later once you've got that one ready to go on the pan. And I'm going to tell the viewers how to catch those trevally and bream.
Happy days.
All right, thanks,
Beauty.
Kurt. See you, mate.
Yo.
Well, let's speak about this estuary and these trevally and bream. If you get up into the top lake and throw those metal blades around as Kurt did, or even a soft plastic, or even just some bait, prawn bait, pilchard bait, drift around until you find a school and then pepper them, either spot lock on your electric motor or throw the anchor out and just fish that general area, because that's where the fish are feeding, and if you find feeding fish, there'll be more than one. Now the trevally, they're a sensational fighting fish, and they're a bit of a mainstay for our marimbula system along with the tailor. So the trevally, you're going to get those on soft plastics, vibes and bait as I spoke. The tailor, you probably get tailored on the same method, but I'd suggest trolling a hard body lure behind a boat or spinning for them. It just seems to be more fun, more productive, and there are plenty up there at the moment. Now, if trevally and tailor aren't floating your boat and you want those bream, you're in luck, because this is the time of year where all those big black bream get ready to feed up and spawn. So they're in concentrations around the weed edges, on the rock points, and also timber snags. Now, you don't find a lot of timber snags up in marimbula, but you do in pambula. And our man Adzi was out there the other day and he caught some sensational fish. He was just throwing gulp crabbies on a really light jig head up against the snags and waiting for those bream to come out and whack them, and he was giving it to them. He was fishing out of a kayak, so 50% off on rentals. Come and get a kayak, take it down there and get into them. And if you want to know any more about Adzi and his bream, come into the store and pick his brain. But if you get down there in the pambula system, fish those rock walls, fish the oyster racks, fish the timber snags, you'll find some sensational bream, black bream and yellowfin bream, and also the odd lazy flathead in that sort of scenario as well. Check that out, isn't that cool? Well, for those that want to venture out offshore this weekend, you're in luck. As I mentioned earlier, that swell is subsiding, so it's great. Punch out through Marimbula Bar and chase those flatties. Logan got his first sand flatty this week, so that's fantastic. Some good fish out there. Punch out to about that 55 metres as I mentioned, and you'll find those bigger size sand flathead with some tigers thrown in the mix. If you're looking for snapper and mowies, of course all your reefs around here, Long Point Reef, Haycock and the Hunter are all good, but I reckon if you get down to Twofold Bay and punch out there, you're going to find a better class of fish and probably more variety. So we're talking mowong, snapper, ocean perch, nanagai. Leatherjacket Bay, there's a nice little reef out there in about 45 to 50 metres. You get some gravel, you're going to find those good mowong, snapper, and that probably get some flatties out there too, because there's a bit of sand punching out a little bit further, so it's a real good mix. Plus it's a safer harbour to go out of if you're not certain about crossing the Marimbula Bar. And if you're not certain, by all means, don't do it. But if you wanted to come in a little bit closer and fish those washes, the snapper are there in the washes, but you've got to be early. I'm talking before the sun up. All the bait's in nice and close, and those snapper are in there feeding. The moment that sun's up, they're gone. You might be lucky to get one or two, but if you want to get numbers, you've got to be early. Once the sun's up, punch up out to about 30 to 40 metres, hit those gravel zones, you'll come up trumps. Twofold Bay, if you want to do some diving, crayfish galore. Corey's been getting into them, so if you go and get your feet of flatties, a couple of snapper and mowies, come back in and jump in the water and get some crays, you'll be dining well. If salt water's not your thing, head up to the high country and chase a trout. Plenty of big brown trout milling around the edges, feeding on yabbies.
Well, if you've caught too many fish already and you want to go and get into a bit of skiing, Boss Outdoor has a sister store in Jindabyne, Boss Outdoor Sports, which is a ski hire located at the BP service station. Head in there, tell them you watched the fishing report, they'll give you a 20% discount off all your ski hire. Well, on the game fishing front, there is definitely still fish to be caught. We've seen that pretty rough week of weather where not too many boats have ventured out. But we did see some pro boats come into Eden and unload a heap of bluefin tuna. So they're wide and south out of Eden. They will keep moving up as the water cools down. There'll be some yellowfin around too that we haven't really seen them bite like we did last year. But we're at the very start of that season, so hopefully that happens and we'll see a lot of boats get out there this week. The weather looks absolutely mint. There's no swell on the cards for the next week or so. So it looks really good. We'll see some fish getting caught. There's plenty of stripies, there's plenty of albacore out there. We're just going to go and land those big tuna.
Well, thanks for that great update, Leaf. That's about all we have time for this week's fishing report. If there's anything else you need to know about camping, fishing, or anything else outdoor related, come into Boss Outdoor so we can hook you up.